Well, it is another Sunday morning, and there's not too many of you online. Good morning, Selena Brown. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday morning. This is the day that the good Lord has made, and we said this is Car Chats with the Max. We just thought we would get online and just have a little conversation, discussion, dialogue. Let me see, I have some notes. I just want you to know that you're alive. It's supposed to be Car Chats with the Max.
I know, but I'm never fully ready on Sunday morning.
Well, you need to be because the Bible says
I have myself to get ready, 5 little people, and to make sure that you get it.
So well, car chats.
I get done. I get all the way done in the car. Okay.
In the car. Well, I just want to know why you always the last one to get in the car.
Why you doing shady? I just told you why. It's because I have to make sure you're up. I have to make sure they're up. I have to make sure they take out the dog. All these things. See? So actually, when you think about it, I'm quite selfless. I make sure y'all are together first.
Yeah, I think you're right about it. So you're right. What you said. Well, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we're coming to you live. We are lit, and we are loaded. And we're coming to you with, hopefully you all can hear me. Can you guys hear us? We're coming to you live, lit, loaded with the power of the Holy Ghost. And we're giving you Sunday morning Nashville flow, church flow coverage. And I am your boy, Theophilus J. McIntyre, your own business guru, expert in my own right for all things business, career, academics, professionally. I do all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I am your boy, Theophilus J. McIntyre. This is the lovely Danielle Renee McIntyre. And we got the baby Max all in the back. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, good morning everybody, good morning Jackie D. Reynolds, and good morning Letty Tate, good morning to my Brown, good morning. I calls people out, okay?
I know, but you got
like this. I'm focusing, that's why we got the thing up here so I can see what's going on. Good morning. And a couple weeks ago, we started doing this Car Chats with the Max. I hope y'all can hear us okay. I don't want to be screaming, but I typically have an earpiece so I can just talk in my normal tone, but I feel like I've got to kind of exude the vocals, or what's the word? Be more emphatic, project a little more. But anyway, last Sunday we got on this and we just called this Car Chats with the Max. And we're just having, conversation. Sunday morning gets kind of easy for us because we're all together. We're going in one place and it takes us a bit to get to the church house. So last week we were talking about being speed. We were talking about God's speed and how speed is power. And when God gives you revelation, insight, knowledge, wisdom to pursue and recover the unfailing promise of God, how we have to move quickly. And we talked about Peter, how he was rescued out of prison, and the angel said, "Get up, arise quickly," because we don't have all day. We don't, the word says our days are short and full of trouble. The word even describes our lives like vapor. So, they're here today, and before you know it, time is, God is a God that can redeem time, but that don't mean we take all day to do everything. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about this week. So we thought we'd come back on here and we talk about commitment. All right, commitment, about committing. Let me see this. Good morning, everybody. Oh, okay, Sister Selena said good morning, so we said good morning. So we got somebody on here to talk back. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Sister Arletta Slaughter, how you doing, homie? It's good to see you. So we were talking about what we were talking about, man, because I've been dominating every single one.
You just said commitment.
You're out of the screen though. We can't even see.
But I'm trying to do what I'm doing too.
Okay, let's see. I don't want to mess this up.
It's fine.
Okay, all right. So we're talking about commitment. So this is what it is. Oh my goodness, is it Proverbs? I think it's Proverbs 35:7 says, "Commit thy ways. Commit thy ways unto the Lord." Can you guys hear us okay? Can you hear me?
I'm sure they can hear us fine. You yelling.
I know. Am I yelling?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Let me make sure. Can y'all hear us okay? If you can't hear us, what do I do with the comments? You know how to get the comments back or no?
I don't know.
No? Does anybody know how to get the comments back? Well, how do we know?
I don't know. But, you know, we can address that later.
Yeah, but how do you know? Okay, I got it back. This is what I was doing. I was trying to see if somebody says, like, we can't hear you. But someone said good morning, so I think they can hear us. Patricia Burrows, how you doing? Yeah, so hopefully y'all can hear us. Okay, so today we want to jump here and talk about commitment, because a lot of people, you know, fail to accomplish their goals and what God has for them because they what? They failed to commit. Failed to commit. So, yeah.
It's hot.
Look up that scripture. Do you know? Can you do it on your phone? I think it's Proverbs 35:7. Commit thy ways. And if it's not Proverbs, I think it is Proverbs. That's right. You don't need to do it. Proverbs 35:7. Google it. Commit thy ways. And then it says that God will bring it to pass. Commit thy ways. That means to give your work unto God, not man. That means to put your all into it. That means to be committed, mind first. That means to commit your ways, in that you give God even the works of your hands, and that you execute, you implement based on the word and according to your faith and the vision, the passion, the mission he's put in you. You execute on that thing. You commit first, and then he said, I will bring those things to pass, and we'll make our way prosperous, because we really can't expect God to do anything for us. And I don't believe that God is obligated to fulfill, to cause any promises that he's made to come into fruition, unless we do what? Unless we what? Commit. Unless we commit. But anyway, I'll just throw some. Is it Psalm
37?
Oh, okay. It's Psalm 37:5. So I was wrong. It's commit thy ways. Psalm 37. Commit thy ways. And what does it say, babe? Can you hook a brother up with that scripture? Hook a brother with that scripture.
You want me to do it like a church lady?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, put your evangelist voice on. Come on. Do it.
Commit thy way.
Uh-oh, what
unto
you
the
saying?
Lord.
What you saying?
Trust also in him. And he shall bring it to pass.
And he shall what?
He shall bring it to pass.
And he shall what?
Shut up.
You got to get the camera and do that last right.
I just did.
And he come on, do it one more time for the people.
And he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37:5.
Psalm 37:5. Well, the word of the Lord is blessed. The word of the Lord is blessed. And so, like any good preacher would do, a preacher would come up with some points. So I jotted some points on here. And so the thing is this: commit thy ways. Why should we commit or not? And this wasn't one of my points, but I don't believe God is obligated to us if we're not obligated
to him.
If we're not all in.
To him.
Yeah, we got to be all in. I think of it as likened to maybe like, I think of a what do you call, not the skydive, but the swimmers that do the diving and the swimming. But when you're doing that, let's say that you're a swimmer and you go for a leap, and maybe this is something unprecedented. It could be representative of something that you've never done, something that's so massive that you could not do it alone and all by yourself, that you need divine methodology, strategy, and energy, divine momentum. It's that big. But I think of it being like those divers that are way up high and they're on these boards and they're about to jump. When they jump, they got to be all in, and there's no turning back. You can't back up and reverse like mid-dive, because sometimes you're just in too deep. So you might as well be all in and just have the mentality that says it's now or never. It's do or time. It's do or die. And it's got to happen for me. And just believe that thing and be all in, 100% committed. The word says commit thy ways first. We've got to commit first. Okay, so we have to be all in first. And then God will bless the works of our hands. He'll prosper us, and he'll allow us to experience great success. So I came up with a few points, like any good minister of the word and gospel to do. So commitment, we said that number one, it forces intent. It forces us to be intentional, right? As we're on our way to church, it forces us to be intentional. Now, babe, I want you to help me out. I know you're doing some stuff, but what do you think when I say that when you commit first, it forces us to be intentional?
Well, it forces you to actually execute a plan or get a plan. Okay? It forces you to get a plan, and you have to get that plan together, and you have to organize it. It's step by step.
Step by step.
Step by step.
So basically, it's like this. Hey, brother Romero, Sarai, I see on here. Good morning. So commitment forces intentionality. Here's the thing: we will never have what we want in life if we're not intentional. That's really all we're saying. If we're not intentional, that means you have to stake your claim. You have to be so committed, so made up in your mind that it's got to happen for me, and I will not take no for an answer. I'm not going to settle on this thing because God said it. I believe it, and that's all I need. So it's got to happen for me. So being committed, it puts you in a different mindset, you know, that basically says, I cannot see life any other way than my accomplishing this exploit. It could be writing a book, it could be writing the song, it could be starting a business, it could be completing that degree, it could be anything. But basically,
it could be your relationship, marriage.
Relationship. Yeah. It forces intentionality. It says this, what we have, like for example, what my wife and I have, it's got to happen. There is no way out. There's one way in. And once you're in this thing, it's over. It's done. It's done. And that's what you call commitment, being all in, for better or worse, until death do us part. No matter what, we have a divine contract, an agreement that's signed, sealed by the blood, because the blood covered this. The blood covers this. There's a blood seal. And so we have to understand commitment is this. There's no other way. It can't be any other way, regardless of any other force, regardless of any occurrences. That's how marriage should be. Regardless, some folk talk about irreconcilable differences. Well, we just gonna be irreconcilable together.
As long as, you know, it's not where you're being hurt in any kind of way physically.
Yeah, right.
Now, that's a different scenario. You know, but we're talking about, you know, you just decided you just fell out of love.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, fell out of love, or there's a breach or some kind of breach in trust. But even breaches in trust is an opportunity to get it right, to get right with God, and to come together and to become stronger. So commitment, it forces intentionality, your intent, in that you are purposeful, you're intentional, and you've made up in your mind that there's no other way. There's no other way, right? So that's our first thing. It forces intentionality, and it really causes you, when you're really committed, you put your fork in it and you say, this baby is done. This thing is done. And so, yeah. And some people are concerned about committing because they don't know. But
they don't know what the future holds.
They don't know what the future holds, or they're caught up in this analysis paralysis and planning. But the thing is that
how are you gonna plan?
You can't plan what you don't know.
Right.
And we're gonna talk a little bit about that too, because the thing is that when you're really committed, you don't have to have a blueprint that tells you verbatim every step, right? Because we'll kind of talk more about that, because you don't know what marriage is going to be like, but you have to commit first, and guess what?
Walk it out.
You learn the rest later. That's why the word says to lean not to your own understanding, but acknowledge him in your way, and he will direct your path. If you want it bad enough, you will commit. If you want it like you've never wanted it before, you will commit first. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. We do want to count up the cost, because the word talks about a man being able to count up the cost before he builds his house. And that is great. But if God gave you something and you've been counting up the cost for 5-10 years, then I don't know what you're doing. Because even if you have to wait some things out, you still work while you wait. And there's still things that you can do while you wait. So commitment, it forces your intent. It forces you to start writing the vision. It forces you to start making that thing plain. It forces you to commit and then start implementing a plan so that you can execute accordingly. So committing is important because it forces intent, and it gets that thing going. When you're 100% committed, you will start taking some steps. And that's the thing. For those of you that are trying to accomplish something, when you don't know what to do, do something. When you don't know what to say, say something. You know, when you don't know what the next step is, at least take a step. Do something, right? Do something. We may not get through all these points, but if we don't, we're going to be back with you next week. Let me see that, 211. But I just jotted some little notes on my preacher pad here. I've got my preacher notes going on here. So what was our main verse again?
Psalm 37.
Psalm 37:5. It said, "Commit thy way." Come on, baby. Read that one last time. Do it again. Do it again for the people. And then we're gonna keep on with that one.
Petty, right?
Come on and read that scripture.
I'm trying to
commit thy ways.
Okay.
See, that's why you got to get up earlier in the morning. I mean,
how much earlier can I get up? I can't be getting up at like 4.
You got a whole nail salon. My wife, she has a whole nail salon opened up over here. Do you hear me?
Look,
a whole nail salon going on.
Look. When you can't, and you have 5 children and a dog and a husband, and you don't have and schoolwork, you don't have time to sit in a nail salon. So what do?
Can you read the
press-ons?
Can you read the scripture? You got a salon. You got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Commit thy way unto the Lord.
What you said?
Trust also in
Come on,
him,
start over and say it
he
again.
shall bring it.
Say it again.
Yes.
No, when I say it again, you got to repeat that same one. Come on, commit. Say it again.
Commit thy way.
Commit thy ways
unto the Lord.
Unto the Lord.
Trust also in him. And he shall bring it to pass.
And he shall bring it to pass. Okay, so commit first. So we said committing first, it forces intentionality. It forces purpose. It forces you to be able to say it's got to happen for me. If God said it, that is enough, because you'll never have what it's meant for you if you don't own it. And I'm still on this point 1, because I just want to make it clear. You have to own it in your mind. You have to own it for yourself. You have to own it even if somebody else says you can't, or you're not good enough, you don't have enough, or whatever. What do I say?
As one bishop says, you got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right. You got to see that thing. So it forces you to be intentional, purposeful, and to take ownership, accountability. And I like to say it's got to happen for me. There's no other way. It's do or die. It's now or never. Why? Because I simply believe. And according to my faith shall it be unto me. Bottom line point, the blank and the period. Okay, the second point. We are committed to, I can't even read my notes. What does that say? We're committed. Oh, you might as well commit. Here's why. Here's what we said. Because you're committed to something anyway.
Oh, yeah.
People say, I can't commit to that doctor, that Daniel's.
Yeah. You yelling at the people.
Oh, am I yelling?
Yeah.
I'm getting excited about the word. But
his point is, you know, if you don't commit, you're already committed. You know
already
what you're committed to? Committed
Failure.
to doing nothing.
Nothing.
Just sitting down doing nothing. You're committed to failing. You're committed to being lazy. You're just committed. You're already committed.
Folks say, I can't commit to that Daniel's fast because I like mashed potatoes, bread, and rice, and cookie cake, and cornbread, and cheap macaroni and cheese. I like those things too much. I love them better than my health. I love them better than my life. And you lose your life prematurely if you don't take care of yourself. You've already committed. Folks say, I can't commit to that. That doesn't sound like too much. You already have, because you're committed to that Twinkie. You committed to the Twinkie. Which is okay, because I've been committed to the fried chicken and the cornbread. And hey, all of us are guilty of it. So it's not like I ain't pointing fingers or pointing blame, all these kinds of things. No. But you might as well commit, because you're committed to something. What? Anyway, you committed to something. Anyway, you committed to something. Anyway, yeah, you committed to something. Anyway, this co-host is fired. You're fired. You're fired. You see, I'm kidding. Okay, committed to something anyway. And some folks say, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, you're committed to doing nothing, and if you're doing nothing, anything that's not moving is not growing. Anything that's not moving isn't thriving. Anything that, if you're not moving forward, in my mind, you got to be moving back. That's what Paul said, I press. Exit 8, what is it? 88. And here's the thing, you're committed to something anyway, so you might as well get committed to the right thing. And something just came to me. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Thank you. Right. Sometimes we, what? Oh, was I going wrong?
I think that was right.
No, I think it is right. I think in 0.9 miles we go 43. This just came to me. Sometimes we rest on our laurels and we look at yesterday's accomplishments and we say, well, I've done this, I've done that, but there's always something more. There's always something greater. There's always another round. There's always another victory. So part of the challenge with us committing and moving forward to accomplish that next thing is that we're resting on yesterday's success. But part of what we have to do is get excited about what's to come.
Right.
Get excited and believe the word that eyes haven't even seen and that ears haven't heard, that there's yet something else. The reason why you're here is because God has another victory for you to accomplish. He still has something, and he's put it in you. He's put the passion, the vision, the mission. He's put it on the inside of you. And you have to keep that vision in front of you and allow it to drive you. Allow it to drive you. So, first, what's that?
Hold on. And wait, 40.
Oh, I think we're going right now.
Are you sure? Okay. The thing is yeah, he's put it in you, but the thing is are you going to answer the call?
Answer the call.
Are you going to answer
the call?
Or are you just going to sit there and keep on contemplating and thinking on, I don't think I can.
Yeah.
What will others think? What will they say?
Mm-hmm.
But if God told you to do it,
when God says go,
you better go, because you know what? Sometimes you sit around and you wait too long, you can miss that opportunity.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be somebody else up there doing it, and you think, God told me to do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I didn't.
Miss out on opportunities, miss out on monies, miss out on relationships because of past hurts, and so you are immobilized and hypnotized, and you've shrunken in fear because of what has happened, and so now you're afraid to commit, and boom, you missed out on an opportunity of a lifetime. So we have to heed to the call. So the first thing, we commit because it forces intentionality. And so what committing does is it gets you in a different mindset that says it's got to happen for me, and I will not take no for an answer, because it's do or die time. It's now or never. And I'll never fail, because I will never quit. I gotta hasten to my close here. And okay, I ain't gonna do all that. See, y'all got excited. Y'all got excited. So the first thing is that it forces intentionality that says it's got to happen. I'm all in. I'm committed first. I know there's some things that I don't know, some things I don't understand. There's some unforeseeable. There's some potential uncertainties. What else? Volatilities, whatever it might be, but I'm all in, and it's got to happen for me. So what force is intentionality. Then we said the second point is you might as well commit because you're committed to something anyway.
Right.
Most of us are committed to something anyway, even if it's doing nothing. Even if it's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Even if it's doing absolutely nothing, we're still committed. So you might as well commit to the right thing. So the third thing, we have 5 points actually. I got them on my little paper. Commit. And the third thing is because this is good. When you commit, it prioritizes your time and energy and other resources. When you commit, it helps to create priority. What do you think that means? Sometimes you can help jolt some things in me. But what do you think? That when
Say that again.
When you commit first, here's a thought that we had. That when you commit first, it prioritizes. Is it B? Okay, that's right. It'll reroute us. It prioritizes your time and energy resources when you commit first.
Oh, okay. So it prioritizes your time and energy. Not only that, it helps to normalize things for you where you, in other hands or in other instances you would feel like overwhelmed and you couldn't get it done. The prioritizing helps you to make sure that you keep what? The main thing?
The main thing. Right. So it prioritizes your time and energy, and other resources. When you're really committed to something, you become a better steward of time. Some people are afraid. Hey, good morning, cousin Lindsay. It's good to see you. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. When you commit to something that is aligned to the will of God for your life, when you're all in and when you're willing and obedient and you're willing to follow instruction as to how to do that thing, God will make your way prosperous. And sometimes you will be a better manager of your time. You'll be a better manager of your resources. Sometimes we are afraid that we don't have enough time, that we don't have enough. But when we look at all of the time, the energy, the mental power that we're wasting on absolutely nothing. On the phone, keying, and really not accomplishing anything. Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, we go to McDonald's twice a day, Starbucks 3 times a day, and do all this and wasting money, energy, time, conversations.
Not even just that. I mean, just the time, the energy that we spend just sitting and sometimes toggling back and forth between social. I think this is it right here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. Toggling back and forth on social media, trying to see what other people are doing.
See, that's the thing. Y'all
seeing what
trolling.
Other folks are doing. When you could be actually utilizing that space, getting yourself together, and not hating on somebody else who may be posting something about them, what they've achieved, whatever achievements they've accomplished, or what it is that they're doing. You know, you wouldn't be so upset about it then if you were actually doing something. I'm just saying.
And a lot, and the thing is that a lot of times we can't focus on the vision, on the purpose that he's put in us because we're so enthralled, so consumed with someone else. Sometimes we even, what's the word? We put people on pedestals and we celebritize people, and we are so consumed with somebody else's business. Right. Paul said to mind your own business. He says to mind the works of your own hands to see what it profiteth, something along those lines. But it's important that you be committed to what God has given you, because what he's given you can only be done by you, and the vision he's put in you, even if it's helping someone else's vision, it only can be done by you. Right. And it's the most important vision, if you ask me. And we'll kind of talk about that too a little bit. But this says point 8, go right. So yeah, so that third point was committing prioritizes your time and energy resources. You would be surprised too that when you are really committed to something, you will make priorities, and you will stop thinking of reasons as to why you can't do something, and you'll start trusting God and be more readily available to receive divine insight as to the ways. How can I do it? Okay, if I don't have enough now, it's not that I can't do it. It's not that God won't fulfill it. It's not that it can't be accomplished. You just have to be willing to do whatever it takes to make it go, to make it happen. Yeah. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And so when you are really committed, God, I believe, will provide you with the divine insight that you need here, right? To make it go, to make it work, to make it happen. And then you will be more readily accessible and available. You'll be readily receptive and able to receive the ways, right? Yeah. The ways, let's say, on the right, okay. You'll be readily available to receive a divine, information transfer, data transfer. You know, when we talk data and technology, I call it divine information protocol, transfer protocol. There's a process by which God communicates, and I believe that when you're aligned to your purpose, to the vision, that you can hear from God, and He will provide you with the ways. So when you're committed, and when you first acknowledge God in all of your ways and allow Him to direct, God will see your faithfulness, He'll see your heart, and God will give you divine creativity, strategy, and methodology to understand and know how to execute accordingly. God will give you the insight, the creativity as to how to get it done. Yes, you will. Yeah.
You know what? You know what, y'all? We gonna have to end this.
We're gonna have to end because I think I'm getting lost right now.
Yeah, we gonna have to end this.
The car chats with the Max is taking me off.
We should have been at the church.
Oh no, the church is right there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, either way, we gotta go now.
We ended up having to take a roundabout way, like the people's in the wilderness, but see, that's because God still had a plan. He still had a plan in the wilderness. See,
but this
had a plan
we gotta
go
around. But you know what? That's okay, because you know what? We shall reconvene.
We'll reconvene. It might be next week, y'all. So tune in. Oh yeah. Oh, where are my books at? Oh, y'all, check it out.
Oh.
If y'all want us to help to put gasoline in this vehicle for the car chats,
you know
look,
what?
Keep the lights on in here. I just turned them on. Help us keep the lights on here. We have books. Boom.
We have books. And I'll put them in.
Let me see this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You put them order, and I can talk to them.
Okay. There is number 1, the rich and the righteous.
That's how to teach you. It's the creation of wealth. How to create wealth from the ground up. It's for entrepreneurs, nonprofit leaders, but it teaches you how to use what's in your hands and to profitize off of that, to create additional revenue streams in your home.
And then there is Unstoppable.
So the first one is business wealth creation. Okay. This one is organizational expansion, business, for-profit and nonprofit expansion. It teaches you the principles of Christ, the passion of Christ on his way to the cross, and how to be unstoppable, undeniable, and to spiritually break down every barrier of hell that is preventing growth. So it's really a book about Christ. So the first one is creation. This one is expansion.
And then there is dominate in the marketplace.
It teaches you how to leverage your personal value proposition, your difference, your premiumness. Why? Because God doesn't want us competing with anyone, because He's given all of us this standalone, this individual grace and capacity. Let me say it one more time. To dominate and to learn the art of collaboration, to take your ministry, your business, whatever it might be, to the next level. These are just $20 each, and then I have music. There you go. $20 each.
So much greater.
So much greater. I will rejoice. $5 each. I'm gonna put my Cash App here. Let me see if I can do it now. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. $20. I'll mail it to you. Y'all can just send me, inbox your mailing, because my wife is gonna make sure it gets done, because she helps me quite well. And so if you want a book or music, it's $Theosophist. Theosophist. Y'all send us a Cash App, hook us up, because we're going to be doing more. We've got some projects coming in 2020. God is doing something new. He's doing a new thing each and every day. So $20 book, $5 if you send me $25, we'll take care of the mailing. Just inbox me your address, or just comment here, and we can text you one of our numbers, and we will make sure that you have the product to you. So God bless you all. We have a couple more points here on committing first, okay, and we'll reconvene next week. Sunday. Yeah, that's all.
But in the meantime, you know what y'all need to do? Get up, get to church. Have a blessed week.